Welcome back. So next we will be defining the purpose of the initiation phase. The first thing to bear in mind is this initiation phase does not always exist. I know the project management methodologies out there tell you, yes, you need to have an initiation phase, but in real life, sometimes it doesn't exist. So just as a quick reminder, the initiation phase is whether you decide if the project will go ahead or not. But there are some companies that don't care. They just want to do the job. Sometimes they have just a mandate, they have the budget, and they want to do it. And they don't want to have to go through all the initiation process. And sometimes they just don't have the choice. Sometimes it's just a government necessity. Sometimes it's a legal change that is required. And therefore, no point discussing if we're going to do it or not, because we know we have to do it. And also what happens sometimes is the initiation phase happens behind closed doors. You are not involved. And I think that makes sense. Why involve a project manager when the project is not really, concrete yet? So there will be a group of executives discussing several project ideas, and they decide after, well, we do this and that. And then they can bring the team. They can say, well, we want a project manager for this. We want her to put a project charter together, and we'll see what that means. But now let's assume that the initiation phase takes place.
The purpose of this phase, in a few words, is why are we doing this and is it feasible? The key components that we need to make this decision is we need to have a look at the scope. The scope is, what is this about? What are we doing? The cost and the schedule. So it could be a very good idea, but if it takes 3 years, it might not be a good idea by the end of it. And the cost might be also prohibitive, might be just too expensive. We more or less put on a business case. Sometimes the business case is being done separately by the business, but sometimes the project manager, if he is part of this phase, would assist in creating some type of a business case, look at the cost benefits and strategic goals that come out of it, and see if yes or no we can go ahead with this project. We'll have a look at the key risks. Sometimes there is a risk that is just so big that the business will make the decision straight off the bat not to go ahead with this project. So for that reason, it's important to highlight the risk now. We don't want to go into planning and execution and after realize, oh, this risk is just too big, and it just hits us and it just cancels the project. And then when we are reasonably confident this project will go ahead, we can start putting a project team together. We'll have a look at the key resources. If the project manager is involved, then he will assist with this, or we will start and gather resources from the business teams to put a project team together. The key outcome sought is, yes, to get approval to start the project firmly. We need some type of sign-off, and we will see that we'll use a document called the project charter that is sometimes used to put all these components, all these details on the project together in one document, and we'll get this document signed off, and then we can say, yes, we covered, this project has been approved, and we can formally go into planning. Now let's review the role of the project manager.